metal detecting with R.S. Baxter. You can see that I'm at a historical location today, little relic hunting, and listen to that noise on the video. That's some hard rock to dig through, because I'm at a train station, old abandoned train station. Nothing but old hard rocks and soil in the spot that I started in. And let me tell you, it's some of the hardest digging I've ever done. There's the old station, and if you look down straight ahead, that's where the tracks ran through this town. And they kept going and went over waterfront. So, getting plenty of targets, which is a great sign. 73, 78 on the meter. My Nokta Makro Simplex, and I'm going to dig that 78 and see what becomes of it here. There's a crawly critter, an earthworm. Dug up a couple of those. And there's geese in the background. A lot of hard work digging here at this site today. There's some old pottery. That to me is a great sign. I love to see old artifacts like that, glass, pottery, anything like that tells me I'm in an old spot. And there's what it rang up. It's a really old beer can. I want to call it 35, 40 years old maybe. Peel's Real Draft. Haven't seen that stuff in a long time. Well, I took it down to the trash can anyway. That was my first significant find of the day. Peel's Real Draft. Alright, on to my next hole there. I'm digging up. And again, I'm along the train tracks now, the old train tracks that's been covered over for years. And my expectations on the day weren't that great. If I found one coin, and there's the second worm, by the way, of the day, I would be very pleased with the day. That's all I had my sights on. I just wanted to find one coin. And I used my new Nokta Makro pinpointer there. First time out for it. Worked like a charm. Really like it. Although I didn't need it a lot of the time today. I was just digging the holes. Sometimes I was bringing the items right up, but a few times it really did help me. There's a old piece of folded up aluminum foil. And again, you know, I got to tell you that I'm happy to find that. That tells me that probably no one's been around here, because most metal detectorists will dig up those items and throw them in the trash, as I did. So, you know, I had a lot of junk targets, but it told me something about the area. And there's plenty of targets. I dug, must have been 20, 25 junk holes on this one. And it kind of gives you your exercise. I mean, it was a beautiful day today, so can't complain at all. Loved it, actually. It's one thing I love about this hobby. It gets you out, see nature. If you're doing some relic hunting, you're down at the beach, you're still getting a great view of nature. Alright, so I'm getting some targets in between the 4 and the 51 range here. There was a lot of broken pieces of pipe. They were ringing up in the 4 to 6 range. And I was toggling my simplex between field mode and all metal mode. Here's a hole I started digging. There's the Nokta Makro pinpointer there. Worked really well. And It's a nice little addition to my metal detecting hobby tools. This is the first time I've ever used a pinpointer, believe it or not. I used to be just a dig and find it type of guy with the detector. Didn't really want a pinpointer, but there's my third or fourth, fifth target of the day. Another rolled up piece of aluminum there, about 4, 5, 6 inches down in that hole there. So now it tells me that there's targets around. So again, back looking around and searching these targets. There were plenty of them. And of course, filling the holes. Even though there's not a lot of people around that walk this area, it is still accessible to people. And I'll be back, so I don't want to fall, trip, and break my neck on something. There's something I dug up, and it was only about 2 inches down. A little piece of plated metal. Almost looks like a door type of piece. There, as you can see it. Next clip, I'm going to pick it up and show it here. Got some holes in it. Part of either a piece of equipment or an old door, perhaps. And that went on the side to deposit in the trash as well. Don't generally keep things like that. And here's under the bridge. At one point, of course, that road didn't go over top of the train tracks. There's a lot of targets in this area. Plenty of junk. To be honest with you, I dug up a few of the junk items, and here we're going to see one. Again, an old bottle cap. Gotta be from the 70s, maybe even the 60s, possibly. So, this old bottle cap has been down there a while. Can't even read anything on it. But it was one of those old, you had to open it with a bottle opener type of top. It wasn't one of those twisty top of bottle tops. So, alright. I just dug up another target close to that one. Old Pepsi. That is a screw off top. So we're getting somewhat in an area that is closer to today here in 2020. But I'm saying that one was probably down there 20, 25 years, it looks like. Hard to tell. So plenty of junk. I was more than willing to try to dig it up in the attempt of getting better in the hobby. That's part of this whole thing as well. A lot of people watch these videos and they feel that they're just going to go out and grab a large cent or mercury dime just as easy as pie. It's not that easy, folks. You gotta pay your dues. A lot of these detectorist videos that you're watching are from people that are experts in the field. They know where to go. They know what they're looking for. They have the advanced equipment, and they are professionals in the field, no doubt. And it takes some time. It takes time and patience to get there. Just locating your targets, digging them up, and you can use the modern equipment like the pinpointers. There's a little feedback from the detector, and I did change frequencies after a few minutes. It didn't really bother me that much, but lo and behold, there's a ton of trash, as I would call it, in this area. But trash isn't always a bad thing, because like I said earlier in this video, you could have a ton of trash, and that tells you one thing, that maybe nobody's been there. There's my pinpointer acting up again there. And another tip I'll give you, if you plan on being out over an hour or 2 hours, that sort of thing, bring a snack with you. Bring a drink in a lunch bag, preferably. Keep it on ice, so to speak. A nice cool drink or two. That'll prolong your activities outside. You can take a break after a while because it's a lot of work digging coins as well. A lot of people just look at it and say, oh, I'm going to go find silver, I'm going to go find rings, and they don't realize the work behind it as well. So if anything, use this video as a good starting point for your metal detecting, and know that it's not all peaches and cream. You've got to pay your dues a little. Alright, so just dug up a little more trash there. Filled the hole, as I always do. And then I'm on to the next target. I'm walking up further down a path that goes down to where the train tracks used to cross a small lake type of situation. And I was getting a ton of 4, 6 targets. After a while, I didn't want to dig those up anymore. I know they're probably iron. I pressed on here and took in some of that wildlife that you hear in the background. But that's how a lot of this is. It's not something where you're just going to pop your detector out and lo and behold dig up a gold coin or a silver coin. You're going to find a lot of this stuff. Now you can tell on the detector it's very close to the surface. It's a 4, so it's probably going to be iron, maybe a piece of iron scrap. I'm not going to dig that up. Now maybe on another trip I might dig 1 or 2 or 3 of those up. But on this trip I had already dug up a lot of trash, so my goal was to find at least 1 coin. And as you can see, the view was great. The afternoon was completely awesome for November. And I was pressing on. I was going toward my goal of looking for a higher target from the detector, looking for something in the 60s, maybe even the 70s, and probably walked a good half mile. Here I hit a nice target as far as the number is concerned on the Simplex. I think that was in the 75 range, and I was really happy about this. And let's see what it is here after I dig it up. Alright, a lot of rocks, you can hear that with my digger. I actually needed a step shovel for this one. And believe it or not, I don't really even have one, but I may invest in a $25 to $30 one. You can get them at your home improvement stores. Very narrow, probably 4 or 5 inch, and somewhat light. On a trip like this, it would be worth its weight in gold, because there's the target, and another one of those old bottle caps. Now this one is one of those bottle caps that you need the old bottle opener for, not to twist it. Alright, I was trudging on. I was not to be denied, and here I got my best numbers of the day. It looked like multiple targets to me right off the bat. I was getting anywhere from 60 to 50 to 80 to 90. As you can see on the meter. going to eventually settle upon one of those targets and dig it. The 70s really got me thinking something was there, down there. As you can see, the depth was pretty deep as well, so digging these targets took a lot of energy, I'll tell you. I didn't last very long far after these digs, I can tell you that much. But let's see if my goal can be met today, of at least finding a coin out in this tough terrain. It was an old abandoned railway track that had been, you know, abandoned probably, I want to say, around 60, 70 years ago. I've got the pointer out now, zeroing in on the one of the targets that I hit in this area. Now, if I had that step shovel, I might have lasted another half hour or so, but probably 20-25 minutes after this initial dig here, I was ready for the lunch wagon, let's say. All right, so this one was proving a little bit difficult to find, this target. It's still down there, according to the pointer, possibly. And I'm just getting to use the pointer as well. There's a fine art to the pointer using. That's saying that the target's still down there. Faster it beeps, it seems like the closer you are to the item. Alright, I think that's... See it right there in the dirt. Yeah! Matched right in there in the dirt. There it is, voila! First coin of the day, and so bright out, right the way I was facing, couldn't really tell what it was initially. It's a Lincoln cent with the memorial on the back, but it's been worn terribly. You can see on the one side it was chipped and basically eroded, so... There was my first coin of the day. It got me excited here. I was very happy and stayed in the same area. The same hole, so to speak, was producing a lot of different numbers. Still. As you can see, there's that 76 again. In and around other numbers. Bouncing all over the place. So I was on my second dig here for a coin. And sorry if this video is going a little long, but don't feel like splicing it. I'm sort of running my clips together and showing you a good portion of what I filmed. There's number 2 just sitting right there in the clump. Right there for your very eyes to see. I love that. You don't have to bring out the pointer. And another Lincoln cent with the memorial on the back. The second coin in this hole, so to speak, in and around the hole. And that wasn't everything, if you can believe that. It put that one in the old pocket. There it is. And you can see the erosion on that coin as well, being in that real hard, rocky sediment there. It's not aging well. Okay, so I'm around the same hole now. I'm still getting strong targets. Multiple coin hole here. Right within view of a a small lake type of tributary of a river. Already a couple coins in here. Had to clear out some of the leaves and like a mossy type growth on top of the grass. I got a bouncing target again, 72. But as you can see in the depth meter, it was 6 to 8 inches down, so it was tough to dig it. As you can hear in the background, there is a highway probably a quarter mile away, so still getting a lot of that road noise back there. And here goes my dig for number 3 here. And again, this is all in the same initial hole area within, I would say, a 24-inch square. The digging was very, very difficult. I'm hand holding the camera as well, so that was even more difficulty, so to speak. But you know, when you're finding coins, you get on a roll, and you want to keep finding the next one. And you know, what races through your mind, at least my mind, is maybe I'll bring up a silver coin next, possibly a nickel, or there's another piece of glass. Again, gotta tell you, I love to find little pieces like that in areas that I dig up. It tells me that there's things under there. There's you know, years of either people in the area, possibly not a dump, but you know, there was things in the area. There was traffic in the area, possibly, that caused that glass to get there. Now, I have dug bottles in certain areas around this area where I'm digging today, and have found some nice bottles. So there are some bottle locations as well. Not so much in this soil, because the soil was so packed with rocks and tightly compacted. It's a railroad area. An old railroad went through here. But in other loose, sandy areas around the older parts of a community, and I'm talking historic type areas, you can find medical bottles, old beer bottles, milk bottles, you name it. And that's yet another hobby that's not really related to metal detecting, but it's awesome. All right, for the sake of time, I'm going to roll forward in the video here a little bit, but I did pull 2 more Lincoln cents out of this area. So it was a quite a find, great find for me. And right after this, we'll go to the wrap-up and take a look at what I brought home. Alright, I'm back at home taking a look at a few of the things that I found today. Some of the things I already threw out, and you saw them on the video. I'm curious about this item here. Rang up as metal. Doesn't look like anything
I recognize as being junk, or maybe it's some steel. I'm not sure. Still not sure what this is. Of course, I did retain an old bottle cap. Brought that home. Now when I find bottle caps like this especially, I can tell that goes back a number of years. They haven't used these type bottle caps in, I want to say 40 years maybe, depending on where you live. But my area is at least probably 40 years ago is when they used these type. And of course, here's the pennies. Now, before I stumbled onto these pennies, I had nothing. I was digging up trash left and right, and that was okay. That's part of metal detecting. Some days you'll only dig up trash. In fact, I resolved myself upon going out that I was only going to be happy if I found one coin. Then I stumbled onto this find of 4 coins. I think there's more there. I did mark it for the next time I go there, and I will definitely revisit it. As you can see, some of the coins have been eaten away by time there. They're all Lincoln cents, but you look at the edge of this coin, looks like it didn't do very well over time in that rocky sediment that it was in. Alright, well, I hope you liked this video. Please hit like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have a lot more metal detecting videos. I have Ancestry on this channel, and I'm thinking about branching out and adding a separate metal detecting channel. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.